what's going on, everybody? Danny back with some fresh finds and some grail finds that I mentioned in my last video. And yeah, I've got some good stuff to share with you. And let's start off with Dillinger 4. That's who I started off with here. They are a punk band out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I came across this a while ago, but I don't believe I've shown it. This is the D4 bootleg album. It only has 4 tracks, although on the back it'll say 25, which is, if you know of this band, they're kind of a humorous punk band. How do I explain? They are kind of like Blink-182 on steroids. If you know, when Blink-182 was good, if we want to go there. Yeah, I love Dillinger 4. If you've never heard of them, you're missing out. Their last 2 records were on Fat Records, and I saw an interview where even Fat Mike, I don't know if he said that they were one of his favorite bands, but let alone he thought of them as one of the most punk bands out there right now, based on their attitude. Yeah, their music as well, but he's been trying to get them to make another album, and they don't really care. I guess they don't feel the need, or I don't know what the actual reason being why they don't put out a new album, because it's been since 2010 since their last official album. Yeah, this is the BBC sessions. I don't even know if that's factual or not. I mean, it does sound like it's kind of like a live studio recording. Really cool. It's 4 songs from the last 2 albums with Fat Records. A jingle for the product, folk song, Gainesville, which we're listening to, and D4 putting the F back in art. They have a humorous side to them, and if you'd listen to them, you'd know that. Really good, high energy punk. Good, really good shit. And they're on, like I said, the last 2 albums were on Fat Records. This is on Chick with Dick Records. Yeah, I'm not making it up. Again, they have a humorous side about them, and really hard album to find. I've been looking for that one for years, and it finally popped up, and I snatched it right up. So yeah, if you can find that, grab it. But any of their other stuff, you can't go wrong. They don't have a bad album at all. They're all good. And like I said, they're from Minneapolis, so I'm going to keep that going. This is a band. I wouldn't say a band. This is a duo. Atmosphere, hip hop group or duo. Slug is the singer, and Ant is the DJ. Really, really cool. I'm not huge into hip hop. My boys are, and my oldest son turned me on to Atmosphere, and as soon as I heard them, I really liked them, and I've been collecting their stuff. This is I want to say it's the Fun EP. Originally it was on CD, and they reissued it on vinyl, on a picture disc. And if you've ever purchased a picture disc, they always come in these clear bags, record sleeves. Take them out immediately, because if you leave them in there long enough, it will ruin the record. Something about the chemical in that plastic, it leaches out onto the vinyl, and it will forever ruin it. You can't clean it off. I have multiple picture discs that I bought as a kid, and 20, 30 years ago, you didn't know that, but I guess it takes time to find out that it ruins them. And yeah, so just a little side note, if you have any picture discs, take them out of that plastic, put them in one of these vinyl style sleeves to protect it. And I picked this one up pretty cheap on eBay. I was a little bummed when I got it. It had a slight warp to it. Didn't affect the play of it, but I think I got it for $7, so I'm not going to pitch a fit over that. But this is his early stuff, which I like much better than the newer stuff that he's been putting out. Not that it's not good, I just prefer the older stuff better. Yeah, Atmosphere, really a good hip-hop group out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And moving on to the next one, this is a band that Vinyl Richie turned me on to, and I don't know if it was his last episode, but he was talking about a band called the Coat Hangers, and he attached a link to one of their live concerts. And I watched that, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I've never heard of this group, and really liked them. And in my last video, I said that we were in Vegas, and I stopped into this record shop, and I came across 2 of their albums. So I picked them up because partly because I've never looked for them, but I've just don't recall ever seeing their vinyl before. But this is their second album, Scramble, and I really didn't know that much about them other than watching that video. So I imagine what I saw was kind of a newer video or concert, which kind of probably played all their hits, if you will. And was surprisingly, I figured I would like the early stuff, just not even knowing it, being that it's more raw. It's usually I like earlier stuff better than later, just because how bands evolve and maturity and all that. But I probably got to give this one another listen to. I didn't hate it, but it was okay. And it's on what's their record label? I can't even read it. It is on Suicide Squeeze. And this one again was a second pressing. Also came with a lyric sheet. You pretty much need a damn magnifying glass to read it, but still cool. And here is the vinyl. This is a limited edition. I don't know what the count was on it, but really cool color. But the second one I found with this was an EP called the Parasite EP. 5 songs. I really enjoyed this one. Their sound is changed. It's not so much garage. They're more polished. I'm sure just like any other band, as they play together longer, they evolve and they come up with kind of a different sound, more polished and whatnot. But really good. I definitely recommend this one. Really liked it. And the vinyl on this also came with a lyric sheet as well. Picture of them on the back, or drawing. And this one's pretty cool. It's a green marbled, if that even shows up. But on the back, it's got an etching, and I doubt that it's going to show up. I'll try to catch it in the glare. But it says the Coat Hangers, and then it's got all their hands here, kind of reaching out. Pretty cool. Again, I would definitely recommend that if you like garage rock. All-female group. I believe they're out of Atlanta, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. I looked that up. And going into my next one, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm a huge Johnny Thunders fan. And I'd seen this one online, and rather than buy it online, if I can get it through my local store, I'd rather support the brick and mortar store versus going online. But this is what I picked up. This is live in Osaka 91, in Detroit in 80. And it's, if I'm saying this correctly, a retrospect of his career, kind of from start to finish. And I wouldn't say 80 was his start of his career, but that's early enough on. I believe that recording is with the Heartbreakers, or a good portion of them, because I know Walter Lure was in that recording, and he was a big part of the Heartbreakers. Good live. Both recordings on these are quality. Nothing really different that you haven't heard before when it comes to Johnny Thunder's live recordings, at least with the Heartbreakers. Now the one in live in Osaka was acoustic, so that was kind of nice little twist to it. And in Osaka '91, I mean, that was pretty much it at that point. I think after those shows, he had flown to New Orleans, and that's where he passed away. It wasn't long after that, so I don't know if there's any recordings after that Osaka recording, but really good. Even though he was in poor health, I thought he still sounded good and nice to hear acoustic versus, you know, electric all the time. It's kind of cool to get that acoustic on there. But yeah, good recording, nice quality. It was reasonably priced. I paid $25 for it, so happy with that. And then another one I picked up a while back. I don't believe I shared this one, but again, Johnny Thunders. This is the Heartbreakers. This is kind of where it all started with him and the Heartbreakers after the New York Dolls folded. LAMF. Now this is the definitive edition. This has basically all three versions of that album. It's on Track Records, so you have the Track LP restored. And if you've watched my other videos, I did an original copy of that, and it sounded like shit. Obviously, this is restored, sounds much better. The second record is the demo sessions. Pretty cool. I like hearing demos. You get a little different take on how the song evolved, or a little bit more raw version of it. And then you have the alternate mixes, and all good. I think I have them all, but it was nice to get them all packaged together. This is not an easy find. I've seen it go on eBay, I don't know, well over $80, I think, and my local store close to home had it in there. I've been eyeing it for probably over a year, and just Thunder's, it's kind of a cult following, I think, especially where I live. I don't know anybody who even knows who the hell Johnny Thunders is besides my kids and my wife. But yeah, it had been sitting there for a while, and I went in there and I haggled a bit, and I got him to go. Got it for $35, and you couldn't beat it for that. I mean, it had a little ding here in the corner. It looks like it's got ring wear, but it doesn't. It's on the plastic sleeve, and I'd take it out, but it's a pain in the ass getting out of it. I've got to get some of those big oversized ones so that it fits better. But yeah, I was really happy to find that. Anything Johnny Thunders, if I find a different pressing of it, I'm gonna get it. So now, like I said, in my previous video, I alluded to grail finds. Now, so these are records that, you know, when you think of a grail, it's something that's unattainable, but anything is attainable if you have enough money. But trying to find it out in the wild and finding it at a good price, that's the trick. So if you keep looking, things will come upon you, and this one did. This is Suicidal Tendencies. How will I laugh tomorrow when I can't smile today? And this is, what did this come out in? I want to say 88, I believe. So this has never been repressed in the US yet. I'm sure now that I've paid a good chunk of money for it, now they're going to repress it, and I'll be able to get a remastered copy of it and all that shit that goes along with it. But super hard to find. This goes for, I was watching a couple on eBay, and both of them went well over $100, and I didn't pay close to that, not half of that. But yeah, it was a pretty clean copy. In my opinion, this is probably the best album they've done. Now that being said, this is in their thrash metal sound. Obviously their first album was more punk than anything, but they've evolved. They took on that thrash sound. And this is just a really well put together album. Every song on here is really good. You know, in the back we got the whole band, and you know, Mike Murr and Rocky George on guitar. Big huge part of their sound. Obviously you can't have Suicidal without Mike, all yoked out and everything, and the rest of the band. I always thought that this dude, somehow, I don't, just even the pose, he doesn't fit the band. I can't believe he was okay with that. It just looks funnier than hell, but kind of funny, just cracks me up. But you know, I guess it doesn't matter as long as he can play well. Who cares what it looks like, I guess. But you know, image does play a part at times. And that was on Epic Records. And I know the UK versions are on Virgin, I believe. And I was looking that up. I think they repressed it in 2016. Again, in the UK. I can't figure out why this one has not been repressed in the US. It's my opinion, that's by far their best album. Yeah, if you can find it, you better snag that, especially if you can get it at a good price. Don't pass it up. I was a little bit scared when I bought that one. Basically, in the middle of the album, there's kind of a scuff mark, and it's on both sides. So whoever owned it at one time, maybe they had a shitty record player or turntable, whatever, and marked the record up. But you know, I looked at it, and the guy, you know, he dropped the needle on it right where it was at, and it had no effect. It sounded great. There's no pops, skips, anything in it. It's a really good album. So, and he gave me a really good price on it, so I couldn't pass it up. But yeah, that's definitely, I think it's a grail. When you're getting into records that are over, you know, $100 and up, those are grails to me, because I'm not going to pay $100 for damn near anything. I'm not going to do it. It's too much, in my opinion. It just depends on how bad you want it, I guess. I don't want it that bad. This is a grail as well. I talked about this band in my last video, the Helicopters. This is their first album. Blows away the one I talked about in my previous video. It's apples and oranges. The sound, really raw, gritty, kind of a punk edge to it. It's straight up rock and roll. Just, man, it is good. I mean, this is original lineup. Dragon on guitar, this was kind of his side project. He's in a band called Backyard Babies, who really sounds more like this. I really like them. I'll eventually show some of their stuff at some point too. But yeah, I believe these guys are from Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're from Sweden, and it's from start to finish. This album is just kick-ass. They even did a cover of a New York Dolls song called "It's Too Late." Probably the best cover I've ever. Not that New York Dolls music gets covered that often, but god damn, they did a really good cover of it. And yeah, so this is a third pressing, and the way I know this is because the tattoo, Ozzy, and the ink are on his arm. The original one, and I believe the second version do not have that on there. And there's probably other ways of figuring out what's a first and second pressing, but this tells you basically how you know it's a third pressing. And it's on White Jazz is the record label. And show that to you. And there's a little cartoon drawing of them, which I believe is here on the jacket here, record sleeve. If I can find the open, there it is. And got a bunch of little pictures of them. And it says, "Jesus loves the Helicopters." And I can't say enough about these guys. I mean, if you like just gritty rock and roll, you will not be disappointed with this at all. Really, really good. And that's a real tough record to find. I know they've bootlegged the shit out of that. I've thought about picking it up because there's bootlegs, they're kind of cool. They've got a different artwork to it, and I think they're green vinyl, at least the ones I've seen. Look really cool, but when I found an original pressing, obviously that's what I want to go with first if I can get it. But there's definitely a price difference, you know. I mean, I got a good deal on it, but when I was looking it up, it's probably a good $80 to $100 record. You could probably pick a bootleg up, probably around the $40 mark, but I think I picked that one up for about $50. So that was a smoking deal on that. Again, that's getting up there, but you know, you get what you pay for. And the next record I want to share with you is another Grail, and that's the Bad Brains. This is their first album, and you can get this. There's many different versions of this, but that's the problem. A lot of them I think are bootlegs, and I've been meaning to pick it up because it's a hard record to find, at least an original copy, which this one is. This is an early pressing. I think this is a third pressing. The sleeve is immaculate, and it's on, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Ryor. There's the other side, and I confirm it because you know, on the dead wax it's got the correct etching. You check it on Discogs and you can figure out that it is legit, and it is what my buddy at Record City told me it was. It's an original copy. This is DC hardcore punk. Man, I mean, if you already know punk, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but if you've never heard of Bad Brains, or you've heard of them just never listened to them, you're not going to be disappointed. It has tinges of reggae in it, not a lot, but it does. But goddamn, you're not going to be disappointed. I think my favorite song is probably one of the most popular ones. What is the one I like the most? The Big Takeover. God damn, I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Yeah, and that song rocks. But yeah, high energy, just really, really good. Yeah, so being that that's an original one, I classify that as a Grail in my collection. It's a hard record to find, at least an OG copy. So that makes a big difference. And yeah, that does it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I've got some more stuff that I'm waiting to share with you. I'm waiting on a few things to come in that I basically won on eBay. It's just stuff I can't find in my local shops, so I'll just resort to eBay if I can get a good deal. And I snagged a couple good things that I want to share with you. Yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time, and take care.